There are fewer than 6,000 black rhinos left on Earth. Each one carries something the species has carried for millions of years. A problem so persistent, so embedded, so impossible to solve alone, that the rhino has enlisted not one creature to help it, but two. One works above the water, one works below. And the rhino, the most endangered large land animal in Africa, needs both of them. The black rhino weighs over 1,000 kilograms. Its skin is thick enough to deflect thorns, branches, and the bites of competitors. It can run at 50 kilometers an hour through dense bush. Its horn, pure compressed keratin, has been its most famous feature and its greatest curse. But under that armour, something else lives. Ticks. They find the skin folds first, behind the ears at the leg joints, in the deep creases where the thick hide folds against itself. The skin there is thinner, warmer, the blood vessels closer to the surface. Exactly what a tick needs. On a heavily infested black rhino, the tick load can reach into the thousands, not dozens, thousands. The rhino cannot scratch its own ear. Its legs cannot reach the folds of its neck. Its horn is useless against what is embedded in its own skin. The armour that protects it from the world outside cannot protect it from what lives inside its folds. The red-billed oxpecker has been riding rhinos since before rhinos looked the way they do now. This is not an exaggeration. The relationship between oxpeckers and African megafauna is older than most of Africa's current landscape. The bird evolved alongside these animals. It knows their body the way a surgeon knows a familiar patient. Every fold, every boundary, every preferred tick site on every species it works. The oxpecker lands on the black rhino's back without ceremony. The rhino does not react. It has been doing this its entire life. The bird moves immediately, not exploring, not learning. Working a route it has always known. Behind the ear first, then the neck fold, then the shoulder crease. The bill finding ticks in the precise zones where ticks prefer to be. The rhino holds still, not from trust, not from comfort. From the deep biological knowledge that this small weight on its back is reducing what would otherwise be unbearable. By mid-morning, the rhino moves toward the waterhole. This is not just cooling. This is the second part of the cleaning system. Black rhinos wallow regularly, pressing their bodies into the mud and water, coating themselves in the thick layer that suffocates surface parasites and soothes the skin beneath them. The mud is medicine. The water is the delivery system. The oxpeckers lift from the rhino's back as it enters the water, hovering briefly, then settling on nearby branches, waiting. Below the surface, something has noticed the rhino's arrival. The fish have been here before. Freshwater fish, primarily barbel and tilapia species, have learned that a wallowing rhino is a feeding opportunity. They move toward the submerged skin immediately. The thick rhino hide underwater is a landscape of its own. Deep skin folds, softened tick attachments, loosened debris, softened dead skin. Everything the fish can eat and the rhino cannot remove. The fish work differently from the oxpeckers. The oxpeckers work fast and precise. Grip, pull, swallow, move. The fish work slowly and broadly, pressing their lips against the skin surface, grazing along the fold lines, taking what the water has loosened that the bird could not access from above. Between them, the bird above, the fish below. The rhino's body is being cleaned in 2 dimensions simultaneously. The rhino is completely still in the water. Its eyes are half closed. The horn rests at the water surface, and something that weighs over 1,000 kilograms allows something that weighs 30 grams to work on its back, and something that weighs 30 grams to work on its skin below the surface. The math of this arrangement is extraordinary. The most remarkable moment happens when the rhino is half in and half out of the water. The Oxpeckers have returned, working the upper back and neck above the waterline. The fish are working the submerged lower body below the waterline. The rhino is being cleaned by two entirely different species, in two entirely different environments simultaneously. Above, red bills, fast precise extractions, the sounds of savanna. Below, silver scales, broad slow grazing, the silence of the waterhole floor. The rhino connecting both worlds, its horn at the surface, its feet in the mud, its skin being attended to by creatures that have never met each other and share nothing, except the surface of this one animal. This is not cooperation. None of these animals chose this. It is simply what 6,000 years of living alongside each other has built, without agreement, without understanding, without anything that could be called a plan. There are fewer than 6,000 black rhinos left. The poaching that reduced them from 500,000 in 1900 to 6,000 today targeted the horn that has no cleaning function, the horn that cannot remove a single tick from the folded skin beneath it. But the Oxpecker, whose relationship with this animal predates human civilization, is still here, still landing, still working the route it has always known. And when the rhino enters the water, the fish are still there too, still pressing their lips against the softened skin, still doing what fish near Wallowing rhinos have always done, 6,000 animals, each one still carrying the ancient arrangement, the cleaning system that two species built without knowing they were building anything, still working on an animal the world nearly lost. By afternoon, the rhino has left the water. The mud has dried on its skin, the last layer of the cleaning system suffocating what the bird and the fish could not reach. The Oxpeckers are back on the back. The fish have dispersed into the waterhole, and the black rhino, one of 6,000, ancient and endangered and still here, moves back into the bush. It does not know how close to gone it came. It does not know that the bird on its back has been riding rhinos since before humans existed. It knows only what every rhino has always known, that the small weight on its back is useful, that the water is medicine, and that tomorrow, if it is still here, if there are still 6,000, the arrangement will continue, as it always has.